webinar, or we call it Zipinar, as we try to zip two interesting topics, wonderful topics in 1 hour session with two wonderful speakers. So today we have a new topic and two new wonderful speakers to join us as we treasure and also we treasure knowledge and also to continue learning. So they just do not bring up the topics that you can just search anywhere. They bring the topics with their own personal experience. So for the first topic for today, it is the window of opportunities for entrepreneurs. So this will be given to us by Mr. Chiranjeev Patel. So he is an entrepreneur who is strengthening the startup ecosystem by empowering various young businesses under a Regulation 1 mentorship program. And he is an MD of I'm not sure. PC Snehal Group is also the second Gujarati to present India in the United Nations. He has empowered more than 50 startups in the span of 3 years and is busy giving more to the world. And he's more a philanthropist. Under his mentorship, three startups are under $1 million club. That's really great to hear and very interesting. I'm really curious how he has been able to mentored. And here we are presenting Mr. Chiranjeev Patel to provide this topic for us.
Hey Phil, thank you so much, everyone. A warm good evening from India and good morning to all my friends in the States.
Thank you. Okay, to start up, can you tell us a little bit about your journey in the entrepreneurship, Mr. Patel?
So, Phil, my journey started when I was 18 years old, when I was in college. And, I was with my fellow students and I was staying in a dome. And when we were staying out at the dome, a couple of years later, all of us as a group, we moved out to a rented place. And you know how it happens in the student life, and you want to move out of the university and just get on with your friends. So I was doing that, and I was there besides a scientist who was doing a research in a product. And when the 9/11 happened, we went to his house to see TVs because we did not have television at that time in the place that we had rented out as students. So while the other friends were watching the news and the attack and discussing other things, I went out with him and asked him, "What do you do entire day in the garage?" And that's when the first discussion and the steps of entrepreneurship or the steps of communication and marketing started. I understood what he was doing, and he was working on a very unique herbal liquid which could replace a lot of chemicals in the world. He did not know how to market it. He was not interested, being a scientist, to promote those products or go out and market, because all he wanted to do is focus on research. I somehow started meeting him every day for a week, 15 days, took one step at a time with him and convinced him to see on how this can be used in industries and let me have a chance in my student career to see if I could market it. So I was coming from an infrastructure construction background as my family, and my father was doing that with the local government here. And I was studying computer science. And here I was with a scientist discussing something about replacing chemicals and talking about how can it be used in different types of chemical and other industries where water could be treated. So it was a huge transition, but having that confidence, the believing in myself, the belief in the power of communication, I took a step with him, started marketing that product. And at the age of 20, I already established that company after working for 1 year or 1.5 years and going to different industries, got my first break of convincing someone of one of the big reputed chains of hotels to use it in their system, because they were also turning to eco and green productivity and promoting their property as, that time the green revolution and the eco-friendly revolution had started. This was something that could replace chemicals. So, we could somehow convince them to use our product. And when I got the first order, that was just the first step. Even that scientist started trusting me and believing in me and my capacity to market his product. And we worked out a structure. We started appointing one by one dealers. I started marketing that across India, going to small villages where the industries were there, traveling, struggling, and doing whatever I could. Did not borrow a single rupee from anyone. I had just taken $1,000 loan from my mom that time, which I paid back in 6 months with interest. And post then, there was no looking back. In 3 years' time, I had more than 23 distributors, under me, and we were marketing this product all across India, and we achieved great numbers. By the time I was 25, I was already, quite tired of doing the same thing over and over again, where I thought that this product had a limited growth and it could not grow where I wanted to see the vision. So that time came the next step. After the power of communication, dedication, and marketing, and having the confidence in myself, next step came is to take the right turn at the right time. And when we talk about using the right window of opportunity and how do you achieve those right windows, this was the right window of opportunity in my life, where I had been researching a lot, reading a lot, understanding India as a country a lot. When I was trying to market this product in small villages, I understood that there is a vast scope of infrastructure, and my company that my dad had since last so many years was not able to somehow tap into anything outside my city. I decided and worked out on a dream that my dream is going to be taking that company pan India, because infrastructure was going to have numbers which no other business could have so fast. And this was the best opportunity for me, being the only child, to take this up as a second generation and build on this company of infrastructure and take it forward. That's when the twist and turns and the right decision of my life, or maybe the right risk that I took, coming out completely of an established business and developing into something different, came across. I took up a couple of infrastructure projects on my own. Again, as usual, the family didn't support. They said, you can do as you like. I mean, we can't support you, but you have the company, you have the people, you have the expertise. Go grab your projects and see how it happens. I took some bold steps, took the risk, but the numbers were fascinating. The numbers were big, and started to, took the first $2 million project at that time and said, let's see how it goes. Somehow I grabbed that project, and it went very successful. And luck also favors you when you have the right step and the right dedication and the right vision towards your things. My art of networking and building leadership also helped me to grab another projects, and also the right kind of connections with bureaucracy, maintaining great relations. In India, it works a lot with bureaucracy when you are into working with the government system and stuff. So I kept on doing that. And in last 15 years today, I can proudly say, after that journey, we are one of the prime companies and one of the top 10 companies recently rated in the field of infrastructure, where water distribution and the drainage and sewerage sectors are concerned. We are one of the top 10 companies in the country with a specific technology that we use for sewage water treatment and water treatment projects across the country. So that's been like my entrepreneurial journey. There have been various things that I do. Along with that, I am also on the board of 7 national universities. I run my own non-profit organization, which is my biggest passion. I firmly believe that when I found my why was giving back to society, because after certain time, I thought that no amount of money, or maybe a $5 million or $10 million project, would make me so happy. The kind of happiness that I wanted in my life was to give back to society. And I always say, when people ask me what is success for me, for me, success is when I can stand every single day in the morning in front of the mirror and I can tell myself that, yes, I'm happy with what I'm doing. So my kick, my why, and my happiness is about giving back to people. And when I can do that, when I can actually use the network and relationship that I have built over time for helping someone else, or the helping or creating platforms which can help so many lives, is something that makes me happy and makes me feel successful. So it is not something that I'm doing for someone else or helping someone. In my journey, it's been about my own selfish interest that makes me happy, and giving back to society, giving back to the employees of my company, giving back to family, giving back to my loved ones, is something that I aspire to do every single morning. So my journey has been more about understanding my why, and my why is giving back rather being a successful entrepreneur. For me, to become a happy and successful human being is more important. And that's why my non-profit today has 11 old age homes that we take care of, 3 orphanages, 2 centers where people can eat food, unlimited food, and who anyone can come in every day. So more than 1,000 people come to those 2 centers every single day. And we have a lot of women empowerment programs, women social entrepreneurship programs. We do a lot of programs with women and people who are there in the jail, and who are serving life imprisonment. We try and convert them for a better life and give them some entrepreneurship opportunities. We ask them to produce things. We tie up with corporate. We have an entire social network that we have already developed in this entire system. So various activities are there for kids. We have 6 street schools that we have in my nonprofit. We are coming up with the 7th one very soon. So we make the kids study. We take care of the future of the country, the future of the society, and we see how much sustainable we can make our organization, how much sustainable we can make our life and sustainable society by helping. So we adhere a lot to the United Nations sustainable development goals and see on how our NGO can align with those activities constantly. So that is a small part of my journey. There's a lot of other things that I do, but this is just a brief synopsis of my life and journey.
Wow, that's a great way of giving back to the community. Like, how much have you been supporting?
Is a part of that giving back in the society, because I firmly believe that entrepreneurship is one thing which is the solution to all the problems in the world. Because why I say entrepreneurship is the solution to all the problems in the world, because we're coming from a country where constantly what we're fighting for are problems of education, employment, food, housing, everything. But if you have one successful entrepreneur, he can at least help and sustain minimum 100 people in that company, or some way or the other way. He also has those 100 people and their families taken care of if they are paid in the right way. And if that family produces one successful person or a successful entrepreneur, the chain always keeps on going on. And not just one business. When you're doing a business or a manufacturing industry, there are your suppliers, there are people who are associated with it, there are contractors, not just people who work for your company, but so many allied industries that one industry takes care of. So entrepreneur is the fastest chain of infection that can spread to people and make people's life very very sustainable, very stable, and help sustain more and more families. That's why I always believe that entrepreneurship is one of the solutions of all the problems in the world. And that is why I took up as my own, because of the kind of organizations and experiences and exposure and learnings and trainings that I have been in my life. I have put that all together and created various modules of mentorship. And I firmly believe that startups today fail because they do not have right kind of mentorship. If there are successful people like all of us coming together and hand-holding them in the first 3 years of that journey of entrepreneurship, I think there's no bigger service to successful entrepreneurship that we can do. And if you can do that by giving back to the startups which are coming up, then it is brilliant. And hence I started 1 rupee mentorship program. It's about 9 sittings, 9 sessions, 9 months with this startups. And when you can maybe out of those 9 startups that I select after thousands of applications every year, if one of those startups is successful, then I think my duty towards giving back to this entrepreneurial world is complete. And I'm, like you said, more than 3 or 4 startups are doing so well that I'm really glad and happy that whatever time I've given to them has helped them to shape better lives, better companies, and sustain so many families in different ways. Thank you.
Wow, that's really great. So thank you for sharing those details to us. And also, like, not every opportunities gives you the big break that you are looking for, right? So like, is there something you can share that would tell you that that window of opportunity will give you a break, or
So there are various ways, how do you spot the window of opportunity? Like I said, I studied, and while I was traveling and doing something else, I focused a lot on, grabbing the knowledge that was there in front of me. See, the opportunity is always there. I firmly believe it right in front of us. It's in the way on how we see that. And for learning to grab that opportunity, it is most important for all of us to understand that what is the future holds for us. If you can read about it, if you can research about things that you are interested in, you will always understand what kind of opportunity is there. It's not every time that an idea becomes successful, but to implement that idea that you have with the right time and the right vision is extremely important. A lot of people, as you can see, turned COVID as an opportunity rather than an adversity comes in, in our lives. I know so many companies which are in the FMCG sector who were right there and futuristic, and you had actually, converted that companies into great online platforms and sustained it even in a country like India, where a lot of, the mom and pop stores are still not there on online, but there were people who could actually see that opportunity, and with the change and foresee that future is about a lot of digitalization, have been able to grab to a great successful. You see the kind of valuations that India has turned to many companies. In just 1 year, we have produced more than 100 unicorns. So that is something amazing what India as a country has done. And if you see on, what you can do and how to turn that opportunity, the first important thing is you need to keep a check on the market and have the right vision towards seeing that. And if you keep and study the market well, and if you understand your product well, and you know what vision it holds, what your company, what kind of vision you have for the company, by understanding and aligning with the market needs, then I think you'll be able to grab the right window. The second is you need to know your competition very well. You need to see what the other people in your same field are doing, because no matter what we do as a startup, you always have someone else coming out with that idea or a very similar kind of idea which someone else is also working on, or the successful people in that line, what they are doing. If you're a car manufacturer, you need to see what the other companies are doing, what is their plan after 5 years, what kind of technology they are working in. The minute you stop doing that, you will be able to not deliver the best to your customer, some cutting edge technology to your customer, or a cutting edge comfort to your customer, which the other companies are already working on with the vision of what they will deliver after 5 years. So you need to know your competition very, very well. And the third and the most important is when you need to invest. There is always the right time. I think the speaker after me is a very staunch analyst, and she'll be able to tell you on how and when to invest at the right time. But investing in a business at the right time and grabbing that right window, and places on opportunities or adversities like COVID or the market slump, or when there is a real depression in the market, those are the right times when you need to come out with these ideas, because you need to see on how you can cut down on things, how you can grab the opportunity of a slump market. And when you can do that, I think you are actually working on the windows of opportunity. So these are a few points that I would work at as an entrepreneur.
Thank you. Those are really great points. And also acknowledging our attendees. Um, you are free actually to ask questions as well to Chiranjeev in regards to what you have in mind in regards to entrepreneurship, or if you are starting, or maybe Chiranjeev can also tell us if we can have one of the seat in his mentorship. So that's entrepreneurship mentorship. And one thing, like I feel like it's a bit obvious already, but if like how would you differ, like comparing the technology that we have right now, if you are a startup compared to when you started your own entrepreneurship journey?
I think, see, in my own sector, in the infrastructure sector, Phil, a lot of things have changed. And if we as a company are not going to be, working on those construction changes that are coming up in the system, for example, green buildings, no one was able to speak about green buildings until the last 5 years. But we as a company, we have decided, and since just before 3 years, we already entered and start grabbing the projects and converting the government of India mindset towards building green buildings. So today, if you see that after a couple of years, we'll be among the only 15-20 people who will be having those certificates which have executed green building projects. In the same way, for sewage treatment plants, there are various German technologies and Canadian technologies that are coming up. We have already tied up and joint ventured with a couple of Canadian and German companies, and we'll be using those technology to ensure that we'll be the pioneers in the market. So technology in every single business is very, very important. Today, if I do not have the ERPs right in my company, it is very, very difficult for me to do that. Now, we had, started using ERP in our company a few years back, so that we are way ahead of our customers. We stopped, a lot of pilferage of the stock, a lot of dead stock was cleared. We could also ensure that the highest amount of employee efficiency is used because of those ERPs by us. And we could also foresee the kind of material prices change. You see the highest inflation is going on today in across the world due to the changes in the world scenario. Now, when as an entrepreneur, you are able to grab that, opportunities and understand what the vision holds, it is best. For example, today in our in our industry, the steel prices were soaring high and it was very difficult, and we could have suffered heavy losses, but we foresaw that. And today, now when the steel market has crashed in last 1 week, we have started grabbing and taking advantage of lot, because I think we also discuss with a lot of analysts of stock market and other people on how the building prices are going to be there. How do you see the market functioning? How do you see the global scenario of crude and the war related issues also functioning? So now we know that that the next 4 months the building material prices are going to be low, so this is when we stock the highest. So we use a lot of technology. You have to be you have to be really on the toes all the time if you want to progress every year. We have used COVID to grow at 37%. My top line grew 37% in COVID last year compared to the previous year. And we grew 3% and 3.5% in our profits and GP, net profit and GP last year as a company. So if you would have been sleeping and only, not taking advantage of this situations that would have come to us, COVID would have completely ruined us, because we had highest number of labor problems and we are a very high labor, concentrated industry. If technology was not used by our company in the right way, we could have really suffered. So it's not just my business. This rules of business apply for every single person. There is no way that about grabbing the opportunities, having the right vision, having the right kind of business strategy for future, having the right way, how do you enhance your vision to build networks and strong relationships, or investing your time to learn new things every single day about your business, about your competitors, and have the right kind of mentorship, no matter what business you're doing. These are the rules, I would say, which are very, very important for every kind of growth in every single entrepreneurship, or for every single entrepreneur. Because having a learning mindset, or having a right business strategy, or enhancing your vision, or networking and building on relationships, investing time in money and education, and having the right mentor, these are 6 golden rules, according to me, for any growth in anywhere. If you have this and you are practicing in the right way, no technological change or things will affect your success.
Yes, that's I totally agree. I can see the point. Yeah. Well, the last part really will somehow amplify the first 5. Like if you have a good mentorship, then the rest of the things that you have been following uh, will work much better. Okay. Yes. Anyone from the attendees would like to
Yep.
give their insights or ask questions? Go ahead, Tatya.
Yep. One question I have for Chiranjeev. So thanks for such a uh, inspiring speech that you gave, and also you have inculcated some of the thought process that we should have in our mindset for our career progression. So I have one question in terms of when startup approach you in terms of either be it funding or any other thing. So how do you evaluate the startup? Like I see one of the thing is the market. So say they, because that's where they might have got convincing that definitely for their product or service there is a market for it, and they would have come up with a startup idea, right? So but what are the things that you as a person analyze the startups, and what kind of parameters that you evaluate for perceiving that company, whether you should be an angel investor for them or not?
I got it. I am into a lot of angel investing, Satya. So thank you for a lovely question. But like I said, rules of the business never change. And I'll take 2 or 3 minutes to answer this in detail. The first is, what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship, according to me, is about solving a problem that exists in the world. And successful entrepreneurship is about solving that problem in a way and giving comfort to people around by solving that problem and creating that problem solution into a product which people can use to create ultimate comfort, and they become addicted to it, is successful entrepreneurship. Every single thing that you or me are using, including the laptop or a phone that is used right now to connect you to me, was actually invented to solve a particular problem. And that's how those companies became successful, because we all are addicted to it and we cannot live without this. So whenever I evaluate the startup, the first thing that I see is what kind of problem that exists in the world, and is their idea solving that problem, which will make you and me addicted to that particular product to use it in our day-to-day lives. Will that help me or a particular business or a particular sector where that product is coming from? For example, an electric scooter. When till it was invented, it was already just an idea. But the day it is invented, it has solved a product, a problem, and now people are slowly becoming addicted to those EV vehicles and electric things. So tomorrow it could be anything else. It could be phones that can be charged by solar technology, for example. But then all of us will start using it. So any idea that comes to me, I first evaluated whether it will solve a problem and make all of us addicted to it. And will it be a sustainable product at the right price and affordable price, not just for me, because I never see myself or yourself as a customer, but for people like us who are successful are not the right people who will be, the kind of user base in this world. The user base of every product in the world is people who are, a very different class of people. And they are the real people who understand and who rate these products and who make sure that they give the right idea about the products that is being successful or being used or not. So that's the first step. The second is, how much capital do they need to come out with those beta versions or stuff to see that whether an idea can be actually converted into a product or not. And it's just not an idea, because a lot of startups just fail at that ideating level. When they start converting that into a product, they understand that the cost is not feasible. So the feasibility of the cost is very, very important. The third is how much you can scale up. There are certain ideas or certain companies or certain sectors that cannot scale up beyond a point. Whereas technological startups and fintech startup, it is very, very important to understand that they can really scale up well. The use is not just particularly for one sector. If there are very sectorial based startups, I try and not, put much efforts into it, because then they remain as smaller companies. Then if you want to really scale up, you need to have a generalized product. I get myself more invested, this is for me particularly, into a generalized sector startup which can solve people's problems in day-to-day lives and create better technology. And the fourth, of course, is how clear are the promoters, what is their vision and where they want to go. If their vision and my ideas, and my vision about their company align together, that's when I take the first step towards even talking about investments to them. I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Wow, great. I've learned so much from that last answer you gave. So first thing is you really have to find a problem. Okay. Now, anyone else would like to share their insight or ask question?
Yeah, Chiranjeev, that's a great session. So just want to let you know that we have under LetUsTalkIt platform tonight in US at US time 9 p.m. Eastern time. That is India time 6:30 a.m. on Thursday. That is Wednesday today 9 p.m. Eastern time. We have a very interesting startup that is presenting. So we conduct a lot of startup specific meetings, investor meetings, catalyst meetings. And for today's one, it is called Darkle, Dartle, and it is like a LinkedIn for sports ecosystem. So they are trying to build the path to a sports career. And looks like, it is pretty, our internal due diligence team told that it is definitely something very interesting. So just in case if it works for you, you can log in, at the same Zoom link. Yeah, so it will be good to get your advice as well.
Sure. What time did you say?
It is India time, 6:30 a.m. Thursday. It is early morning.
Oh, too early for me.
Yeah.
But can I have the details on? I think Phil has my company, my assistant.
Yes. Okay, sure. Yeah, Phil, you send me his information, or you forward Phil if you already are receiving those notifications. Yeah.
Yes. I'll send the details to you, Srini. Srini is the CEO of Cogent.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be forwarding the details to you.
Yeah, great session. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. So time is exact, and thank you so much, Chiranjeev, for that wonderful discussion, and the experience that you have shared is really remarkable. Thank you so much for that. And now we can move to the next topic for today, which is about the importance of technical analysis. That's for stock markets. So this will be given by Ms. Sujata Pal, a technical analyst, mathematics lover turned into a network marketer, turned into a stock trader come trainer, and she is a certified research analyst in stock market. Very humble and kind, easy to reach out. So here to deliver us the topic, Ms. Sujata Pal. Take over, please.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you for the introduction. So, this is so in this class, what we will be talking about is first the basics, very basics of the market. Okay, can you please just type in the chat section? Are you a beginner, intermediate, or advanced level? Just to get to know about at which level you are in. So, as we have a very limited time, 30 minutes. So accordingly, I have decided to the beginners part. Okay, beginner, intermediate. Okay, so everyone please type fast. So then we can intermediate. Okay. Yeah. So as there are most of the people who are there are intermediate as well as the beginners. So we'll go into the beginners part. Okay. So it will be for everyone. What is stock market as per the Indian markets? So I think we can begin. And I'll just basically I talk about the technical analysis, which is related to the short-term trading, intraday trading, basically a short-term period for like 1 week or sometimes extending it for a few months. Okay, so that is what we talk about. But I'll just give you a brief about the what is the market and what are the types of trading which happens. Okay, yeah. Okay, can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just if you let me tell you that as can you guess people, what do you think? How many percentage of people put money in the Indian markets? कितने % लोग ऐसे हैं जो इंडियन मार्केट्स में रुपए इन्वेस्ट करते हैं? How many people invest money in the Indian markets or are in the market? Any idea? It is actually a very, very less number. Please just keep a typing whenever I'm asking any questions. It is like two-way. We both are talking 30%. Okay. Shankar says 30%. Okay, very high. So those of you who don't know, it is actually even less than 5%. Very, very, very less percentage of people are in the market even today, after a lot of awareness, especially after the March 2020 when the corona happened. And a lot of people have entered into the market, but then also if you see the exact number, it is less than 5% in the Indian market. Okay, and if we talk about the developed countries like America, it is 50 to 60%. So just for your information, I just want to share that Indian markets still have a lots and lots of potential. Okay, so those of you who mentioned that they are beginners, do you have a Demat account? Do you have a Demat account? Yes, no?
No.
Yeah, just type in the chat, people, everyone, fast. Yes, no. Okay, so most of you have it and few of you don't have it, okay? Yeah, Srikant says yes, MD Honor says no. Okay, fine. So let me tell you people that if as general, normal person who have no idea about the stock markets, if I talk about myself, 5 years back, I also was not into the markets. Okay, so it's been 5 years since I have been into this stock market. So I was also not there. So if you are earning, okay, are you into job or business, whatever, are you people earning something? So you type in the chat, yes, no. So you have, you keep your money in the banks, right? Generally in the Indian markets, we keep our money in the banks. So for those of you who don't know, there is something called inflation rate, which is every year the price increases of the commodities and things which we use. Okay, So this is 6 to 7% in the Indian markets. Yeah, average 6 to 7% is the inflation rate. And how much return do you get from the bank by keeping your money in the bank? Can you please type for me? Negative. Okay. Okay. Yes. Wow, how much interest do we get from the banks? Any idea for keeping your money in the bank? Yeah, 4%, 3%. This is the average return in the saving account. In some extraordinary cases, it is 7% or 8% also. Okay. Yeah. So if you see about this, as you can see my screen, I have written over here 66 to 7%. But if you understand over here, then just a second, I just want to show you. Yes. So this is the 3 to 4%, and if you actually measure it from the inflation, then if you adjust it to the inflation, it is actually decreasing. Your money is decreasing by keeping in the bank. And that is why there are some countries like Japan, and you can search on Google also, which gives negative rate of return. Means if you keep your money in the bank, they are not going to give you any return, like any fixed deposit also. Like in Indian banks, we get 3%, 4%, depending upon which types of savings you are doing it. Some are fixed deposits, so you get some extra return. But if you may compare it from the inflation rate, then actually your money is decreasing by keeping in the bank. Because if you talk about 10 years back, whatever you were able to buy for 1,000 rupees today, you might be able to buy the same thing for 5,000, 10,000. You can calculate according to some products. Okay, so these are some countries which gives you don't give you any money for keeping the money in your bank, just like Japan. So because they want their people to use their brains and to do something, do some work, and then generate employment, and further things go on. And similarly, as I told you, that America, if you see, have the 50 to 60% of people who are putting the money in their market. So if you understand from this, India is one of the fastest and the largest growing economies in the world, and we will be leading ahead in the future also. So if you just understand this is very important, that right now only 5% or say 10% at the maximum people are in this market. So all the people, there's lots and lots of scope is there. There's a huge potential now in the Indian markets, because everyone will be coming into this. So the market has to go much ahead from this. So there's a huge potential. So do you people realize this? We are going to be type in the chat section huge potential if you understand this point of mine. And now coming to some of the types of trading. What are the types of trading? Okay, so basically they are, if you can categorize in short, are you people with me? Please keep on typing. I am more of a person who interacts so that I get to know. Yeah, thank you so much. Cash is trash when stock market is soaring, but other way around when it is on long-term bearish trend. Okay. Okay, so we will have some questions also after the session. So I'm trying to just finish up. So there are mainly three things. Those of you don't know anything. One is intraday trading. What is intraday? So intraday basically means if you are, buying something and selling something on the same day. So 9 a.m. the market opens and it closes at 3:30 p.m. So in between, whatever you are doing, whether you are buying something and selling and then buying it. So something called short selling, where you sell before you buy. That is called short selling. Okay, those of you don't know, you can sell also before buying. Means if you think that any price of any stock price or anything, it will go down, then you can sell at the upper level and buy at the lower level. That is called short selling. So you can do that also in intraday. So basically intraday means any trade you are doing in between 9 a.m. you are closing it before 3:30 p.m. that is an intraday trading. So you are making profit, loss, everything is in intraday. So you must have seen people sending their screenshots on social media that I made this profit and this. So they are generally sharing that intraday profits, okay? But let me tell you, people, you have to first learn it. The more catchy it looks like, it is more risky also. You have to first learn it. You should know how to do it. Otherwise, there's more chances of you to lose money, okay? And the bitter truth of this market is 95% people lose money than making money in the market. So you have to first learn it, then only you have to do trading. So another thing is short-term positional trading. Means to say it is for few days instead of like intraday. It can be for 1 to 2 days, like buying today and selling tomorrow, or selling today and buying tomorrow. That is means you're carrying it for the next day. For few days, it can be for few weeks also, and sometimes few months also. Generally a short time period. And this is a very good thing for those people who are into job. Like if you are into job, then short-term positional trades for 10%, 15% profits, buying something when it went up, and then you are selling it for keeping it for 10 days, 15 days. This is a very good thing for people who are generally into job and don't want to keep a watch on the market at the market timings. Okay, got it, people? Yes, you can say BTST also. Some people talk like that. Types, another is the long-term investment, okay, which is 5 years, 10 years, it is a very, very long term. Means to say you are planning for some long-term goals, say education, marriage, buying a house, or any luxury car, or any international tour, whatever it can be. So it is generally a long-term, okay? I can give you examples for all the three if you would like to have, okay? So before this example, so types of analysis I'll share with you. What are the types of analysis? So there are mainly two types of analysis. One is the fundamental analysis and the another is the technical analysis. So fundamental analysis is, as the name suggests, it is more about studying the company, okay? Any company, any organization, whatever, the last 10 years of its profit, loss, balance sheets, what a company do. So you have to do a lot of homework in the fundamental. And if I talk about myself, I'm not so much good in this. So this is all about fundamentals, okay? But you should have an idea about what a company do. So just like I have written over here, IRCTC is a very, very good company. If you all know, means you all must have traveled by Indian Railways. So it is one of the most used transportation in India, okay? So what I mean to say is, if this is a monopoly company, means to say there's no substitute for this as of now. Maybe after some years, some people can collaborate, but this is like a monopoly thing, and Indian Railways is like owned by the government of India, and there's no other option for the Indian Railways. So it is a monopoly company. But if you see at fundamental, in the fundamental also, you should be knowing that at what price we should buy. That is very, very important, okay? So this is a fundamental. So this, if you see, this IRCTC is a very good in terms of fundamental levels. Now coming to technical analysis part, technical analysis is universal. Means to, it is more about candlesticks, charts. I'll show it to you. Let me just share with you, just give me a second. So meanwhile, so means to say you have one chart pattern, and then you can use that one chart pattern for lot again and again and again and again. Okay. In the case of fundamental analysis, you have to do like there are 1,000 different companies. You have to do the study of the 1,000 different companies. Okay, one by one, and it is a very tedious process. So, but for long term, this is important. But this technical analysis, there you can learn some chart patterns, candlestick patterns, and you can backtest them. And one chart pattern can be repeated in so many charts. Okay, same chart pattern. So you have, if you talk about the buying, even if it is a good fundamental stock, you have to buy that at a right price only. Okay. So Satya has written Vitalite, CDSL, some examples. So I'll just try to show it to you. Okay, so if you see over here, if you can see this trading view software, this is the charting software. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you something. If you look at this IRCTC, okay, so this is the chart of IRCTC. So I'm just giving you this example where this stock has been splitted. Split means it is divided, like the price, when the price of the stock is increased to such an extent that people think that it is very high price tag, then the stock price is splitted so that more people can buy at a lower price. So if you see, this is 1274 is the higher level, but if you multiply it by 5, it is actually going to come out to be 5,000 plus price. So that was the price when it went up further up. Okay, it started going up from over here, going up, and then many people have bought it around this level. If you see this is a good quality company, everything is good even now also. So some people have bought it at this level. And on the same day, it made an upper circuit and then started coming down. So if you see right now, it has broken the 700 level also and around 600 levels. So basically, it is going on very, very slowly and in the down trend where as of now you can see. So if you look at it, this was not a good level to buy. The good level to buy was from the lower level, and even right now it is trying to take some support, but still this has become, the chart after this have become very, very bad for the buying. If you see, actually it was holding this 700 levels earlier, then it broke this level also. We'll talk about this in a short while. So what I'm trying to tell you is that even if it is a good company in terms of fundamental, but if you look from a technical point of view, from this 1400 level, it has broken all the crucial levels. So it was obviously not a buy. It was a clear cut falling from over here. So if someone has bought it around this level over here, then they are clearly in a loss of 35 to 40% and even much more than that. Agree with me, people? So you never have to buy it on the basis of just fundamental. Along with the fundamental, you also have to see there's something called the value of the fair value of the stock. So you have to also look at those levels also. If you look at technicals, I'll just give you one point over here. Maybe we don't get time again. If you see this was the lower level from where it went up, and then it came to the same level. This was around 1500 levels before the split. As you can see, 300 price. That was the actual level when you could have entered after this long consolidation. Okay, at around 1000 levels, which was like 200 rupees price. And then it started going up. Even I myself bought it around this level. And I have booked 100% profit in this. After it started going down over here, then I booked the profit. It actually showed around this level also. So if you see, this has went up further, and in between also it has given a target. But after when everyone starts to buy the same thing and same cash stock, then it is more highly to go down. Okay. So coming back to this, we have limited time. Okay, so you understand, people, what is technical analysis and fundamentals, just given an idea. Now coming to types of market. So if you got it, people type yes. Are you understanding it? Okay, so thank you so much. So now coming to types of markets, so there's an equity market, and then the futures market, then options, commodity, currency. So all types of market, you need to understand the technical analysis. Okay, type T, everyone in the chat section, technical analysis. So what is equity? Equity, you can say equity market or spot price or cash, all are the different names to the same thing. So if you see there, this is like IRCTC is this one stock. So in the equity market or the cash, this is the equity chart only. The same stock is also in the futures and options that we talk about in a short while. So in the case of IRCTC, if we talk about, if you want to buy one share, say for example, so the price of this stock is 687. Okay, so 687, you can buy one share also for the this stock, and you can hold it for as much time as you want to. Okay, you can buy 10 shares, you can buy 1000 shares, whatever amount of money you have, you can use that for the equity share, equity, but to buy the stock. Okay, and this is in the delivery. You can do short selling in equity also, but that is only for intraday. Okay, but if you talk about the futures and the options, this is a bigger game. The people with slightly higher amount of money, you can't play with 1,000, 2,000 or 10,000 rupees of money. In the case of futures, the same stocks, out of thousands of, there are around 6,000 to 7,000 stocks listed in the NSE and BSE, okay, which are the exchange of Indian markets. So out of them, there are some 200 or few stocks which are a part of futures and options. They are generally the good quality stock, and there is some criteria according to that they are listed in that. Okay, so if you see this same stock, this IRCTC is also a part of futures, which has a fixed lot size. Lot size means the number is decided by the, I'll just open the demat account for you to show you better, but till the time it is opening, so it actually shows or gives you that how many shares you can buy in the futures. There's a lot size fixed. Like for example, IRCTC, it is 875. Means in one lot, there are 875 shares. You will only be able to buy or sell in multiple of 875. So which is approximately 6 to 7 lakhs or whatever that is coming out to. Generally 7 to 10 lakhs is the average value of a future value. So in this case, it is a great opportunity for the futures to trade when it comes to, like, if you were to sell this, like in the case of this, if you feel this is going to go down, you can't do this in the equities for if you sell it and hold it for a few days. But if you do it in the futures, you can sell it at the upper price and can hold it for the up to next 3 months also. There's an expiry every month at the end of the last Thursday. That is the expiry for these. There's a contract. Okay, so got it, people, everyone. What is the future? Just future is a slight basically the same stock which is in future, but the basically the lot size increases. Like if I type over here, this is the upstock demat account. See the IRCTC, it is coming out to be NSE equity. So this is like the equity stock. If you click over here. But if you see, this is the IRCTC future 30 June, 28 July, 25th August. For the next 3 months, you are able to trade. So just to show you over here, IRCTC. Yes. So if I place, so if you enter buy over here, okay. So this is going to look like this. If you can see this. 875 automatically it will going to show. If you will plus over here, it will going to be in multiples of that. Got it, everyone? So just similar, just like you do in the equities, same is in the case of futures. But what are some of the advantages of future? I'll just give you in very, very short and fast track. So pay a very, very high attention, very, very important point. So in the case of futures, what happens is, and what happens in equity. So the advantage is about the leverage of the money. If you understand the chart patterns, if you understand these things, then you can use the leverage of money. Means to say, so for example, let's take this example only. So say 700 is the price of this IRCTC, and this is the lot size. Can you type for me fast, everyone? What is this coming out to be? 875 into 700. So yes, you're doing it. So this is coming out to be this, okay, approximately 6,21,000. But if you want to buy this, and if your view is say on the buying side, you can buy this. You will have to pay this whole amount of 6 lakh, whatever this is coming out to be in the case of equity. But if you want to do this in the futures, you will be paying say 30% or 50% depending upon different margins. You will pay lesser amount of money to do the same amount of trade, but your profit will be the higher. So this is the leverage which works in the futures, and you get up to 3 months of expiry date, like I showed you, no? So this is like June month, June, July, and August. You will be able to take this 3 months of the further. So if 50 rupees is your profit, then 50 into 875 will be your difference of the profit. But the money which you paid to take the same trade of 6 lakh rupees, says 1 lakh rupees or only 2 lakh rupees. So percentage of profit increases. Does that make sense, people? Did you understood this point, what I just shared with you? Yes? Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So and this is the types of market. If we talk about the options and the same stocks are part of futures, there's out of them, the same stocks are also a part of options. So we'll not go much into details in the options. It is just understand from a layman perspective. There are two things in options. One is a call and one is a put. When you are buying the call, it is on that you are positive on the buying direction. When you are trying to buy put, then you are on the selling direction. Just understand this: call means to buy, put means to sell. There's more detailing, but right now we're not going to detail. So then commodity market right now, if you see, like commodity market is the silver, gold, zinc. It goes up to 11 p.m. Right now when we are talking, this market is going on live. The equity market get closed before, but this keeps on going. Like if I click over here, so you can see this, the price is moving live. I'll click this up. If you, those of you who are in the say in the job, you want to do this after the market, then you can do this commodity trading also. Okay, silver, gold, zinc, copper, metal, all these things are part of this. I am more into equities. So all these things, even the different types of things like Bitcoin and other trading commodities like currencies, forex market, all this from whichever country you are doing or any platform you use, you need to know the technical analysis. Technical analysis is universal and it is going to work everywhere. Does that make sense, people? Everyone got it? So what is the conclusion is that you need to learn the technical analysis to understand this. Okay, got it, everyone? So so as many of you also mentioned that you are intermediate, so something for you also. But before that, just a very quick 1 minute. There are the regulatory bodies, the SEBI, the Security Exchange Board of India, under which comes the NSE and the BSE, two exchanges, and out in which the Nifty and Sensex are the index. Index means what? Just like we measure the temperature of our body through thermometer, the index represents the overall market. It, in a way, you can say it representing the economy. When anything wrong happens, then this is representation in this index. Okay, so this market is a representation of our economy. Okay, and then you have there are brokers under them. There are some discount brokers and there are some premium brokers. So discount brokers, very famous, one of them are Angel Broking, Zerodha Upstock. Their charges are comparatively nominal. Angel Broking is a full-time service broker that you can call also, but Zerodha Upstock, you can't call like that. Okay, and then these are premium brokers which charge quite high comparative to this. ICICI Securities, Kotak Bank, and all other, you can check back and connect with me later also for the same. So I just given you this brief. Okay, so now those of you who are intermediate, something for you, I'll show you one concept over here. So what we have to know in short. If anyone has any question, people, you can ask me, and then I'll take some 5 minutes more if you are okay with it. So people, yeah. So is it? Did you understood? The participants, can you please let me know? Does it make sense? Whatever we have done till now. It's one takeaway which you got. So okay, so I'll give you one example of these types of trade. Okay, so one of each type. So for this, I'll just take you to the Telegram channel of mine where I shared some of the trades, so you can get an idea about this. So let me share with you. So this is my Telegram channel, people. You can subscribe it also. Learn Trade by Sujata. I'll share the link for you. But if you see this over here, this is the CDSL. I have just shared this on 30 May. That is to 1 day back. Today is Wednesday, right? On 30 May, which is Monday. Can you see this? So 30th May, 9:57 a.m. CDSL after huge fall, daily buy chart pattern, morning star. So this is the time and the date at what time I have shared. The 1110 is the price of the CDSL. Okay, so now we'll go back to the actual chart. Okay, so those of you want to join this Telegram channel, this is the link. So this is free of cost. You don't need to pay anything for that. So we are going to the actual chart of CDSL. So this is the chart over here. Okay, so can you see this, people? So this is the time frame on this date where I shared this. Okay, why this is shared? Because there's a chart pattern formed over here, which is called morning star. So those of you don't understand anything, just understand right now, as we have very limited time. So if those of you who want to join in detail, I will share with you my workshop. You can join that. That is for beginners only, 2-3 days. If you see this is called a morning star pattern, where there's a dozy candle and then a green candle. Dozy is a very, very nominal type of a candle where the body is negligible. That is called the morning star pattern. And this is formed at the support level. This was the last time where it took a support. Support is a place from where the price generally bounces back or goes up. If you can see this in the charts, history repeats itself and it keeps on repeating the same thing again and again. If you see this is the 28th July, 9th July 21 last year, it has given us a big bounce from the same level. And then after this up, down, it has come to the same level 2 days back. So if you see, this was my level of 1110 where I gave a buy. It made a high of 1123.28 in the same day. And the next day, it has given a high of 12% and even much more than that. So this is an example of an intraday as well as a short-term trade. So in 1 to 2 days, you were able to take the 12% of the profit. How many of you would love to take 12% of profit in 1 to 2 days? If you get these types of 2 to 3 trades also in a month, how many of you would love that? Type in the chats, loved it. So in this case, this line is also drawn over here. This is called a resistance level. So you also need to book the profits timely in the case of intraday and positional trading. So if here you got 12% of profit in an intraday only, that is more than enough. Very good enough. Even I would be happy to make 10%, 7% also, book it. And then it is giving some reversal from over here. Okay. But the level of it is still to go up from over here. So this is just one example which I gave you from the recent one over here. Okay. So this is the example of CDSL over here. So another point which I want to mention is some of the pointers as those of your intermediate who have been doing trading or you have some idea of it. Even if you are a layman, you have a zero knowledge, let me give you 2-3 pointers which everyone should follow, whether it is intraday or short-term trading or whatever. Okay, then I will give you an example of an investment also, so that you get inspired to investment. So basically we have to do the combination of all of this. You don't just have to do trading, you have to do intraday and positional trading. Along with that, we also have to do investment for long term. Long term means very long term, which I was talking about. Now, to keep on your money gets compounded. So that is a long term. So along with this, we have to also keep our money in the investment. Okay. So, but what I was trying to tell you as of immediate, some pointers in the case of these two, positional and intraday trading, just these 2-3 pointers. If you keep this, you will be able to become a profitable trader for sure. So number one point is the stop loss. Okay. So stop loss means keeping your loss fixed at some point. Before taking any trade, you need to know the loss. So like in this example also CDSL, we will go back when I'll show you there's a stop loss. It is not that 100% I am sure that it will go up. But in the case of trading, the probability works. Even if you are right 70% times also, then you are great going. In the worst case scenario, if you are 50% right with the next point, which I will share with you, then also it will make sense as a beginner, even if 50% types. Okay. Stop loss means you have to know the stop loss. How much money are you ready to lose? You should know this in advance. If you know this, then the things will going to work in your favor. Because if I ask you how much money you want to make in a month, कितना पैसा आपके पास महीने में आए, that you will be like, wow, ये तो बहुत ही अच्छी बात है. Other than your whatever income you earn from job or whatever, how much money is that? If you can type it for me. No answers. Can you please type for me what is that amount of money which you want to make in a month? That you will be very good enough for you. So no problems. Instead of typing, the rule number 2 is to you can type a fixed number, people. No one wants to make any money. When I ask this question, many people give such big numbers to me. See, when you intend to write, the universe is listening to you and your wishes will be fulfilled much faster. Okay, so keep on, don't miss out an opportunity whenever something is asked about how much money you want to make. Okay, so yeah, that I love the answer, unlimited. Okay. Okay, so coming to this, people, number 1 point is stop loss. The another point is risk reward. Okay, risk reward means it is an extended to this. Stop loss, risk to reward means to say whatever loss you are having, for every 1 rupees of loss, you should be making at least 2 rupees, 3 rupees, 4 rupees, 5 rupees. So 1:2 is the minimum in the case of intraday also. Means if you are planning to make 1 rupees of profit, you should be making 2 rupees of 1 rupees of loss, you should be making at least 2 rupees of the profit. In the case of positional trading, it goes up to 1:10, 1:20, 1:30. Like I gave you the example of IRCTC, and there are some many other stocks. I booked this on 100% plus profit. So you can calculate that is a very good amount of return. That will be like 1:20 also, 1:30 in the positional trading. So positional can be 5 to 6 months also. And in this technical analysis also work in slightly longer term perspective also. Like I gave you this example of IRCTC, it was some 6 to 7 months of trade, or you can say 1 year also, which I was holding. So not very long, 5 years, 10 years, but in this shorter term, if you are able to put 1 lakh rupees and able to make 2 lakh rupees, which in bank give you 4% of return, would you be happy to make this? So this is what I was telling you. Okay, so this is another point. The third point is money management. You never have to, this is not any fixed point which I can tell you, but just understand this, that you never have to put all your money in a single trade. And in the case of intraday, you should not be making like very huge loss, not more than 1% in a single trade. This should be your maximum loss. Okay, and if you keep these points in mind, even if you are 50% right with this 1:2 risk reward, you will be able to make profit. Okay, along with the combination of support resistance. So those of you who are absolute beginners and are not understanding anything, we have very limited time. So if you really want to connect back, you can connect with me and to have a proper workshop of 2 days, so that you can learn more this in detail. And this is something you all must need to learn to become financially independent and to make money into the markets. Okay, so now coming to this point which I was talking about is over here. This one, if you see this, the low of this is 1015. I'll take this particular example as we have talked about. 1015 will be our stop loss. And if you see around this 1100 approximately, but if you see in hourly chart, we even initiate buying before also around 1093 levels. That was our buying level. So approximately if you see 60 to 70 rupees is the stop loss over here. And the first target was 1190 level, and then the second target was 1280. So in this case we have got 200 plus levels of target. Actually this is almost 1300. So from over here to here, this is like 1:3. Can you see this? On around 70 to 80 points of stop loss, 3 times is the target. If you are not able to calculate, just look at this, that the difference between the lower level is much lower and the higher level. If you can, I can zoom it for you. Can you see this? The difference between these two levels and the difference between these two. So you can actually see that this is like almost 3 times the difference of these two. So this is one example of 1:3 trades. Okay. So this is from my side, people. There's a lot more which we can cover, but I think I was given 30 minutes only. So that's good enough for me. If you anyone have any questions, people, I can answer to you. And those who want to connect with me on the Telegram channel, you can connect. Okay. Yes. Any questions, people?
Yes, feel free to ask, or you prefer. I'll be connecting to the Telegram probably. And anyone else would like to share insight or just ask question?
Yes, you want to say anything or ask? Feel free to ask, people. Yes, everyone. Ayushi, Kishore, Shankar, Madhuri, Manmohan, Vikas, all the people. Feel free to ask.
So Sujata ji, Satya, so quick question. So
Yes,
the way
yes,
we
yes.
have like buy today, sell tomorrow, right? So can we do like sell today and buy tomorrow, or it
Yes,
has
yes,
to be
yes, yes. Yes, you can do that. That is in the futures. I told you, no, this can be done
not
in
in
the
the
futures.
futures?
Like,
I'm talking about the equity position. So
no,
the
no, you
equity,
can't do this in the equity. You can't do it.
it has
That
to
is
be
what I
intraday.
mentioned.
You have to close it.
Yes, you can do this in the intraday, but in equity you cannot carry for the next day. See, this is the only reason. The futures is the thing which also works in the falling market. Like the last month, the market was falling, falling, falling. Okay, basically the April month. Okay, it was in the falling direction. So in that case, the futures selling works or the option buyings. So, but the future selling is the very good thing to make money during the selling of the market, and it requires slightly higher funds compared to that. But in the equity positions, you can only buy and then wait. That is why the retailer traders are very sad during the market when market fall down.
Right.
Instead, you can learn the options and use it very, very wisely. But the in the case of options, in the naked options, when we buy, it has to be very, very with very accuracy. Which so you have to first learn the technical analysis, and once you're accurate in that, then you can use the options also in your favor to buy with the naked options. Like I do only naked options, no hedging and all that. So you can use it with a small amount also to generate money. But obviously, it is with very, very proper learning and accuracy, because the risk of losing money is also very fast in the options, just like the gaining is there.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else would like to ask Sajad?
Yes, you can give your feedback, people, if you want to ask, or any feedback. How was the session? Did you love it?
Thank you. The session is great, and for me as a beginner, I may need like something a bit lower than a beginner. Like it's too much for me to learn with this one
Okay,
sitting.
okay.
But I believe the rest has enough idea already. But a great session. Thank you so much, and we appreciate your time that you have given for the Let Us Talk It webinar for today. So I guess no one is raising hand or prompting to ask question. I'll have the link for the Telegram is there, so feel free to save it to join Sajata Paul's information on Telegram. Also, you can reach out to LinkedIn, and also for Chiranjeev, for the first speaker, you can always message them through LinkedIn. They're very approachable. And so I guess we can call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone, for the speakers, Sajata and Chiranjeev. Thank you so much for the efforts, the knowledge, and experience you have shared with us today. And Srini would like to say something.
Yeah, thank you, Sujata. It was very crisp and informative. Definitely, I think we will probably talk again, and probably we'll have more sessions as well. Thank you for the great information.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Bye-bye.
So yes, let's bid goodbye for now and see you again next Wednesday, the same time, for the new webinars and new topic and new speakers. So wish you all safe and take care as always. Thank you for joining. Goodbye for now.
Thank you.